Hey guys, welcome back. So, I had a topic for today, but we're going to mix it up because I've been really finding a unique advantage and benefit in some of my visualizing and therefore my journaling. And I wanted to share it with you. And I wanted to do so because I think it will really help and maybe change the course of what you are working on. So, welcome to Our Best Self. I'm James DeLucia. We cover topics like improving ourself, improving our wealth, our health, our mental uh, strength, and just sharing good things, things that allow us to do better. And that is what we're going to cover. So thank you for being here. And please subscribe. It'll really help me out. Just hit the subscription button. It takes one click, but it means the world to me and helps me grow this and reach more people that possibly can benefit and at least creates the conversation. So let's jump right in. So we all know the benefit of visualizing, and visualizing means seeing your future life, seeing the things that you are working towards, like really seeing them. And for me, sometimes that might be me walking downstairs or driving in a nice vehicle and looking to my right and seeing my Ashley there, or the kids in the back, or we're going someplace and I'm going up the stairs and I'm hugging my daughter and we're having like a warm, loving, daughter uh, reunion. And just like these experiences, these visuals, and so you're going through, and a lot of times when we do this, and I do this, is we're doing things, right? We are in an experience. We're driving a certain car. We're flying on a certain plane. Maybe you're on a stage, or you're at a big house, or you see a yard and you see a pool, or you're old and you're seeing your kids getting married, and you're at a wedding. So all of these things are beautiful, and they're all exactly what you should be visualizing, right? You want to know where you're going, you want to set your goals and create your life reflective of where your visualization is. And visualization is extremely powerful. And as you dial it in and you work as a personal practice, you see true growth. And I can't support it more for you. Now, I do it both visually. I do it when I'm doing my breath work. I write it in my journal by hand. I like to scribble it out by hand. And then at night, I like to sit and do a visualization. And I go through that practice. So that's great, right? We're visualizing planes, trains, houses, weddings, and the future. Great. I love all of that. That is absolutely fantastic. You are succeeding in visualizing. But one thing that it caught me as I was going through some of this was when I was asked the question, what do you want? Right? Like, what do you desire? Right? You're doing all this visualizing, you're manifesting and working hard to create certain things. And, she was just asking, like, what do you desire? Like, what are you trying to do? Right? Is it a pool with a backyard? Or is it a boat so you can see the stars in the middle of the ocean? Right? Like, what do you desire? What are you trying to achieve? And my answer was, I want to do the best I can. Meaning that if whatever I'm working on, whoever I'm working with, whatever it's a project, it's a passion, it's being a father, it's being a husband, it's building things, trying to do good in the world, having real impact in the world. I just want to do the best I can. And that's a pretty high bar, right? If you think about it, right? Like, if you look at your day, how much of the day could you say you gave your absolute best, your 110% best? You know, you maxed out on making breakfast and reading stories and helping and improving your household and improving your wealth and improving your health and being a good son, right? Like all these categories. But that's what I want. I want to make the life that I have been living and I get to live to matter, to be the best I can. And through all the struggles and all the hardships that I've survived, that my family has survived, I'd like to make it worth it. But that's what I want. But visualizing, what do you visualize for that, right? Like, you can visualize these nice things that you have in your life and these experiences and these emotional feelings and of love and belonging, and you can have those visualizations. But what I recognized is when I was writing my journal on this is I should start visualizing the actions that I want to achieve that creates that life. Meaning that if you're planes, trains, houses, pools, whatever, if that's what you want to achieve, right, that is an output of your visualization of your hard work. Well, what is the hard work actions that are producing that outcome? And so it was that middle part that I recognized that I was missing, and I don't hear anybody talking about it. Right? We say you need to be consistent, you need to do the work, you got to be hardworking, you need to execute, you got to build skills, put in the time, like all of that we know. I talk about that. Other people talk about that, and it is true. Right? When you're running a marathon or you're building a business, it's daily attention, whether it's recovery, it's physical training, it's working on your equipment, getting better technique if you're a marathon runner. And if you're in a business, it is growing it from 1 human to 2 humans to 4 humans to and on, and having amazing customer experiences and a beautiful product. So building takes time. We all understand that. So if you're visualizing just the end, I want to visualizing a giant building or dozens of beautiful retail locations, or my product in the world being used everywhere. What are, like, that's the visualization, right? That feels like an end, right? That feels like an output. And so if the input is hard work, what are we doing that leads to these visualizations? Like, what is the key to doing hard work against what to get the outcome that we're visualizing? So I focus now. I still visualize all these amazing things, the warmth of the sun as we're walking down the beach holding hands, and all of these beautiful experiences. But my visualizations now, 25, 40% now, is visualizing the work and the output and hitting certain targets, right? Like, what are the specific things that I need to accomplish to have this happen? Oh, well, for the coffee company, I need to sell a certain number of bags of coffee and bottles and have partnerships and achieve this volume so we can afford the rent in the land. Okay, so now I'm visualizing that amount of sales. So that way, when I'm done visualizing, my subconscious is thinking about how do we generate and deliver more product to more customers, right? I'm not just focused on seeing the coffee shop. I'm seeing on the things that need to happen to get the coffee shop, right? Now I know my work is to execute on those targets. Maybe it's, having working with my community, right? I could coach like 1,000 athletes. I have reached tens of thousands of people with my talks and my books and my mentoring, and I love it. But maybe you want your impact to be bigger, right? So that means if you have 10 people that you mentor, maybe it's 100 is the number you really need to hit. So you should think about how do I deliver that to 100 people as opposed to 10. And if you're thinking about, maybe it's building a business, maybe it's being an author, maybe it is just being an amazing father, right? Whatever it is, if you're an amazing father, you might need to change where you live. You might need to change your job. You might need to, work until 3:30 so you can pick up your daughter on those days. You can do lots of things where you're visualizing, this is me doing it, because by doing this, I actually become that person. And I want to highlight something. What you do, your habits, your behaviors, your actual actions in reality, That is who you become, right? What you do leads to who you become. Think about that for a second, right? If you want to be a good role model, you want to be a good parent to your children or a good leader, and you walk by a piece of trash and don't pick it up, but you tell your kids to pick up trash, or you ask the employees to clean the floors, but you don't, you already gave them the message, right? Your role model, your demonstration physically shows that you are not a person who thinks it's important enough to do it, but you're telling other people to do it. So what you do is who you are, right? So if you want to be a good father, you must do the things that makes you a good father. You must provide, you must educate, you must protect, you must create experiences so that those humans then are ready for more things in the real world. And so when we think about these pieces, visualizing absolutely is our key. But if you want to achieve your goals, you must visualize not only the outcomes, the things that you're trying to achieve, the planes, trains, and houses and pools, but you have to visualize also what is the work that you're doing that you achieve that creates that output, right? So it's hard work is the input. The thing in the middle is what we're talking about, which is what do you do? What do you achieve? What milestones are you achieving to get the outcome? Easiest example, of course, is anything fitness, right? If you want to be a marathon runner, crossing the finish line of the marathon is the goal. That's what we're visualizing. You know the hard work is putting in the runs, but what about the stuff in the middle? Oh, I need to do mobility work, 2-3 times a week. I need to make sure I have new shoes every couple of months. I need to do some strength training to make sure I'm balanced. I need to work on my stride work to make sure that as I'm putting on more volume, I'm most efficient and effective. I need to increment my volume in a right way. I need to work on my sprints and my pacing so that I become a faster runner, so that it doesn't take me 7 hours to run a marathon, it takes me 4. All of those things, those are visualizing you accomplishing them, visualizing you doing the mobility work, and feeling flexible and feeling strong and seeing your strength rise and seeing your splits improve. That is the other 40% of the visualization. Visualization, part 1 is crossing the marathon. Part 2 is that work, that part in the center that gets you what you want in life. So when you're writing down in your journal tomorrow morning, or if you're sitting there right now and you're thinking about it, I want you to write down what you want. What do you desire? Think about the nice things. Think about the family, your buckets of priorities, health, wealth, family, learning, the impact, whatever is on your list. And then draw a little line. Say, what are the actions I need to take that brings me closer there? And now make your to-do list, your critical task list, based on that arrow of items. And if you do that every day, every week, depending on how much work some of those arrows are, you will achieve your goals. You will experience in real life the visualizations that you have created in your mind. So try this out. Let me know how it's going. There's lots of ways of approaching this, but I think it's so important that we think about the work and putting the time in. And I think this center area is going to unlock a lot for you. So if this was interesting and helpful, subscribe, share it with your friends, send it to anybody who's trying to accomplish anything big, and don't be afraid to try. You got this.